What's going on? This is your boy Chris Evans coming to you with another podcast episode on this Friday morning, almost afternoon. It is 11:53 right now on the East Coast, man. And man, your boy is feeling good this morning, man. Got me a nice workout in this morning. Hit the upper chest this morning, as always, every Friday. Love to target my upper chest. Was with my workout partner today, my boy Talon. You know, he got up with me this early this morning around 6:30, hit the gym around 6:45, and we was doing a great workout this morning, man. Hit the incline press, you know what I'm saying? Almost had a PR, almost hit a PR of 250 pounds on the incline. That's hard. The incline press is a lot harder than the bench press because the incline you at an angle, you know what I'm saying? And plus it's your upper chest because a lot of people don't really target the upper chest. They target their, middle of the lower chest, which is what they do with the bench press. But it's a little harder, you know what I'm saying? I almost got 250, but it was all good. You know, I was getting a nice pump in this morning. You know, we did some other exercises, hit the abs. And man, it was a great start to this morning, feeling good. Also had some breakfast. Your boy shutting it up, making his famous omelets, along with some turkey sausage and some triple oikos Greek yogurt, man. That's one of the best yogurts, man. I love that. My boy put me on to that. It's got 15 grams of protein in there. Very high protein breakfast. And now here we are on the podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? We're here on the podcast. I'm doing well. Still taking care of myself. It's been a great week, been a pretty smooth week. Like I've been telling y'all, I had my birthday on September the 28th. So I'm 3 days in to being 22. And a lot of people ask you, how do you feel? How do you feel on your birthday? Do you feel any older? I mean, I just feel a year older, 22, man. I'm just blessed to still be here. God has been blessing me and keeping me throughout this year. And I'm just so thankful to still be here. I did mention that I did go to the steakhouse. So I celebrated my 22nd birthday on Saturday. So I've been telling you guys I was going to the steakhouse. I went to the Red Steakhouse out in Pinecrest, which if you guys are not familiar, it's an area about 15, 20 minutes outside of Cleveland. So we did go up to the steakhouse. I did have 8 people. I was supposed to have 9, including myself, but one person dropped off, so it was a total of 8 of us. I had some phenomenal steaks. I like I told y'all, I got the bone-in ribeye, and that was the bomb. One thing that I had added on to it was some butter. The waitress was like, you should get the butter on a steak. And I was like, all right, bet. So she put the garlic butter on that boy. Whoo, man, that was nice, man. You know what I'm saying? It tasted real good. Was eating like a king. It was phenomenal. I think we all got steaks. I know most of us got the ribeye. A few of us got the bone-in ribeye, which was the most expensive ribeye. It was $66. Others got, the one that was didn't have the bone, but it was still a 16-ounce ribeye, still a good size. I think one guy got the filet mignon. He got the 12-ounce filet mignon. That looked pretty good. But yeah, man, we was eating good, man. We had that, and then they gave us some desserts. They gave us some powdered donuts. But I don't really eat that. I don't like powdered donuts. So they brought enough out for me. It was mainly supposed to be for me, but there was like so many in there. I just gave them to my people because I'm like, I don't really eat that. But it was good, man. I mean, it was all good besides the bill. The bill was expensive. So what they do is they only do one check, but you can split the check. We split the check 8 different ways because there was 8 of us. So they allowed us to split the check. So basically you pay the same amount as everybody else. So it really don't matter if you get the least expensive thing on the menu. If you got 5 or more people in your party, they make you pay one check, and then they have a 20% gratuity added on to the check. So I was like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? But it ended up being close to $100. It was like $97, but I know we were like, whoa, that's crazy. But you know what? It was all about the experience. It was all about the experience. It was good. It's like 22. I had to do something special for my birthday because why wait? I always say, like, why wait? Why wait to be able to do something when you can do it right now? You know what I'm saying? So I said, I like this place. I think this has some great food, great steaks. I decided to go there, even though it was expensive. It did hurt my pockets a little bit, but it was worth it. It was worth every penny. I forgot we also got appetizers too. So you probably and some sides. The sides were like over $10. Like you had a fancy restaurant. The side, we got mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. They were both over $10. I was like, bruh, lady was like, y'all need to get six. I was like, six? I'm like, do we get a discount? So we ended up getting two sides, and then we got advertised before. So we got two things of calamari. Calamari was the bomb. But yeah, that was my birthday, man. I had a great birthday celebration. And then for my actual birthday, didn't really do too much. Got a scoop of ice cream and then went to Cane's because it was on a Tuesday. I had class that day. And I think I had a test too. I did have a test. I did have like a little test on that day too. So yeah, man, it was great. It was a great time. I had a great birthday, man. And now we here, 22 years old, man. God has blessed me like always. I'm getting ready to do this podcast, man. But yeah, like I said, I've been having a lot going on. I'm officially getting into editing my book. So I already picked out the book cover. So they already picked out a book cover for me, like the publishing company. And then now I'm working on trying to edit it. Now I never knew how intense the editing is. The people was going in on my book, bro. Like literally, I've always struggled with grammar. Like coming up in school, I could never get the grammar down. I could never get the structure. I couldn't get the sentence structure. I couldn't do none of that. The sentence space, like there were so many grammatical errors according to the editor. Just basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just basic stuff that he wanted me to fix, but it was a lot of red on that. But that's part of the process. I'm not mad because I decided to write this book for me. Like I wanted to write it just so I could be able to inspire others. Like you don't have to be an English scholar or nothing. You just gotta just put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me, real quick. Hold on. I need to spit something out. All right, my bad. But yeah, like I was I was trying to look at what the editor put in my book. Like I know he has a lot of comments, a lot of edits. So it's a process, man. Like I said, it's gonna be a 3 month process. I anticipate being fully done. Maybe if I really wanted to, probably hopefully get these edits cleared up in about a couple more days. Hopefully, it doesn't take me too much longer. I gotta go through each chapter. But yeah, like that's what I've noticed. It's just like my grammar. Like my editor was coming at me for my grammar and my use of words. But that's how I be, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his job. But I know for me, like I've always struggled with grammar coming up. So I wasn't even surprised. Like when he pointed out stuff that I was saying, he's like, you maybe you should spell this word out. Maybe you should, instead of saying wanna, you should say want to. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I be though. But that didn't stop me from not writing a book. Like I just continue to keep doing it. So that we're in the process of editing it. And then, I think we got some more steps after that. That's a lot. Like I said, this is my first book ever published, so I'm just going through the process, seeing how it is. And then once I write that second book, I'll be familiar with the process. So, I'm appreciative of these people helping me out. I'm thankful that they're actually taking the time to do this because I know some publishing companies, they just about the money. They just want to take your money. But I've talked to the people. The people seem real, like they're the real people. They're willing to sit down and really help me on this book. They're very legit. So I'm glad that I'm getting my money's worth for this because it wasn't cheap. Actually, that I thought I got a pretty good deal because I know some publishing companies I try to talk to, they're trying to charge me like $4,000, $5,000. I'm like, bro, I'm like, hold up. But this one is it's close to about 1,700. It's just a little under 1,700, but which I don't think is bad, especially for like what they're able to do. I'm still able to keep the rights to my book. But yeah, I'm just very excited for this book to come out. I know I talk about that a lot, but it's something I'm really looking forward to. And it's like, I would really love to have something with my name on it. And I would really feel accomplished because it's something I wanted to do since the beginning of the year. But yeah, man, that's what's been going on, man. I thought I'd just give you a little update. You know how I be. But we're going to get right into the podcast, man. And you know how I always love to start the podcast. I always love telling you a story or something that I've heard, something I've read, or something that I went through this past week. That's always how I love to start the podcast. So this week I'm gonna talk about my What Would You Do Wednesdays. I forgot to mention those. What Would You Do Wednesdays? They're every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So if you have time to get on throughout the day, I would definitely recommend checking them out on my Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life, no space, no capitals. And you can catch those. And you can also catch up on the ones you missed because they got IGTV. You know what I'm saying? It's like Netflix. You can go back. You can go back and rewatch them. So if you want to go ahead and rewatch the show, go ahead. But no, I mean, I want to, start this podcast by talking about my What Would You Do Wednesday, because I found it very interesting how, you know, I was getting a lot of participation. Now, usually when I do these, it's maybe only one person on there, and this one person happens to be my biggest supporter. Her name is Heather. We actually just started talking, and we became friends. I mentioned this last episode, how we became, friends, and how she's on that same mission. She's also doing a podcast, also got a podcast out there, and also is writing a book. So I give her a shout out. But usually, what I found interesting about this What Would You Do Wednesday is how I was seeing more people on there. I was seeing my friends on there. I got to see some other people that came on there and was really supportive, man. I've been doing my What Would You Do Wednesday since the summer. I think I started back in June. Yeah, back in June when Miss Tiffany was on. And it just really felt good to see the positive feedback that was being presented, man. And I didn't know, like, when I first started this journey, I didn't know how far I was going to go, but it was just interesting to see how, because I kept going, and because I, decided to continue to do the What Would You Do Wednesdays, that, I was able to receive that positive feedback from people, who was, supporting me and everything like that, and wanted me to wish me well and everything like that. So it just it just goes to show how if you continue to keep pursuing something, you can see your hard work pay off, and you can see over time that your work is going to stand out in front of somebody. Because one thing that I look back on is how, when Miss Tiffany decided to drop off from the podcast, I didn't know like if I wanted to even continue to do the What Would You Do Wednesdays, because I know that I was used to doing it with a partner. But I'm really glad that I stuck with it, because I would have never been able to see the impact that it was making. And one thing that happened for the first time ever on my What Would You Do Wednesday segments was how there was a person on there. I think he's been on there like before, but he hasn't been on the past in the past. He kind of, I didn't see him like after like maybe my first two segments of first two episodes of What Would You Do Wednesday. But I seen him come back on, and I remember I shared the scenario about what would you do like if you were in a leadership position in your company, and you had coworkers who you were friends with taking advantage. One of the things that I really liked is how he requested to be on my show. So that was the first time I ever had a guest like call in to my show and wanted to speak on live. Like, you go check it out. It's the most recent one. You'll be able to see his reaction on there. And it just made me think like, man, like, doing What Would You Do Wednesdays really truly makes an impact on the people who listen to them. And I was thinking like, man, if I would have stopped that a long time ago, I wouldn't have, been able to see that. I wouldn't have been able to experience that. Right. And so, the point that I'm trying to make here is that if you want to see progress happen in whatever it is you want to do, you must stay consistent in your work ethic, right? You don't want to give up too soon, because if I would have gave up too soon, I'd have probably never met Heather. I would have probably never had the experience happen. I probably wouldn't have never known that my work was actually making a difference if I would have quit too soon, man. You know what I'm saying? I just kept grinding and kept producing episodes week after week. And yeah, were there times where I didn't feel like where I felt like nobody was watching? Yeah, of course. Like, there was times I'm like, is anybody even seeing this? Like, is anybody even listening? Like, is what I'm saying registering to people, right? You know what I'm saying? But I just kept going because my passion outweighed my disappointment. My passion was strong enough to keep me going. And that's why, I continue to stay consistent in my work ethic. See, some of y'all, you can have the experience of a lifetime and whatever it is you want to achieve. you can be able to see your work pay off if you continue to keep going. Right. I never even knew some people would listen to this. Like I got messages from family, friends, just people I don't even know. They're talking about, man, I listen to your podcast, man. I really love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't even think they was even listening to it like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have known because I wasn't seeing that direct feedback. But sometimes you don't know who could be watching you. You just don't know like who you could be making a difference to. And that's the beauty of being able to be, in this motivational realm, trying to impact people is that, you're not going to see stuff happen right away, but you have to continue to keep pursuing it because it takes years. Anything in life, it takes time to be able to really get to where you want to be, man. And I feel like I've been learning that along the way as I've been continuing to do this podcast. Like, I've just learned not to be disappointed, when I see other people, with the followers and with the clout and with the sponsors. I've learned not to be disappointed because I know for a fact that if I continue to keep going, all these things shall be added onto me. All these things, just like in the Bible, all these things shall be added onto me. So I'm not going to be discouraged. I choose not to be discouraged. I choose not to be jealous of other people who are doing well because the Bible talks about how it's not cool to be jealous. You shouldn't envy that. That's evil. Like you should be able to praise, you should be able to encourage people who are doing well in whatever it is they're doing. So I've always like tried to reach out to people. That's why with the guests, like you probably wonder how do I, where do I find these guests? I like to have guests on who are doing well and the motivational speaking, the lifestyle coach, I have mental health coaches, nutrition coaches. Like I love seeing that. And one unique thing about my selection of guests is that I don't care about how many followers you got. At first it was like, okay, let me try to get this page with 40,000, 60,000, 100,000. Let me try to reach out to these people. Right. But it wasn't, but what I realized was that I was clout chasing. I was like, all right, let me see if these people with 100,000 followers, they can blow me up. But really, I had to be like, you know what? I need to look for people who have the right content, the right message, right? Who can speak truth to these people, who can come on here and give a dynamic performance on my episode. Like I stopped looking at followers, I started looking at people. I looked at the message that the people were saying. I looked at their personality, right? So I had to learn how to stop clout chasing, stop making it about the followers, start making it more about the message. Right. And until you get to that level, until you get to that point where it's not about the followers, not about, who's, the people who can blow you up. It's more about the people who can add value. And that's why I had Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany only had like 100 some followers. I didn't care. Like I'm not trying to knock her. I'm not trying to say that that's bad. I don't really care how many followers you got. But Miss Tiffany brought to the show was value. Right. She brought value to the podcast. She brought value in what she was saying. And so that's why, that's what I've learned is that as long as I'm adding value and as long as I know that every time I speak, I'm giving my best effort, that's really what matters. And that's what I've continued to do. And over time, I've seen people, give me feedback, give me comments. But I had to switch that mindset because if I kept making about the feedback and I kept making about the comments, then I wouldn't have continued to keep doing it. Because I would have, like I said, I would have quit a long time ago. Just like I said last week, like I would have quit doing this, but I didn't. And so it's like, knowing what your purpose is, knowing your why, knowing what your vision is for whatever it is you want to do. And you might have to write it down, right? Whatever it is, you got to write it down. Like take out a piece of paper or put in your phone or whatnot, and then wake up to it every day. Like every day that I wake up, my vision is to make a difference in somebody's life. Like every day that I pray, I pray to God that every day I'm making an impact in somebody's life. I don't care who it is. I want my message, my podcast is more about making that difference. And if I can see that difference and if I can, make that difference in just one person's life, that's enough to keep me going. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for me to know like, hey, like that one person's going to reach out to that other person going to reach out to their other person. And it's going to be like a chain effect. So that's what's really, kept me going. I know I went on a tangent, but like that's really why I'm doing this, man. Like that's really why I'm doing this. And I wanted to share, that experience with what happened to me on my What Would You Do Wednesdays. Because like I said, like if I continue to quit, like if I quit, I wouldn't have been able to experience that. I wouldn't have known that it was making a difference to somebody. And so that's what I mean. It's like you got to continue to keep your head down and keep grinding, because when you look up, you'll be able to see how far you've been able to go, right? You've been able to see how far you've come. Because if you keep looking to the left, you keep looking to the right, you keep looking behind you, then it's gonna slow down. It's like when you run a race. It's like when you run a race. So when I was running track, my coach always told me to look straight ahead. Like when I was running that 200, 100, 200, 400 meter dash, the coach was like, all right, keep your head straight. Like there was one time where I looked like this. Like there was one time I was looking behind me and stuff, trying to see where I was at. But what that does is it slows you down. See, if you keep looking around when you're trying to run, that's going to slow you down, because it's going to throw your body off, right? See, your body, it sees where it wants to go, but when you look in a different direction, what I'm saying? Like it could throw you off, because it'll like throw your body off. Now your body, instead of going straight, now your body wants to be able to turn this way or that way. So when when you're going through your life journey, don't keep looking around to see what everybody else at. Just look to where you at. Look to where you want to go. So that way you can continue to move faster and move further, and not worry about, trying to compare yourself to other people. See, another way I want to look at this is like, if you ever been kayaking, yeah, you ever been kayaking? When I first did the kayaking thing, back in June, I remember like when I was using those paddles, man, I was using those paddles, and I kept like wondering. It felt like when I was doing it, I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, bro, like, am I going anywhere? Like, I kept I kept shouting on my aunt. I'm like, yo, Aunt Lisa, like, I ain't go. Am I even moving? She's like, yeah, you moving. She's like, just keep paddling, just keep paddling. I'm like, bro, like, I feel like I'm in the same spot. Like, you ever been kayaking? Like, I know, like, I'm kind of a rookie at it. I've only done it 2 times in my life. But the first time, I was like, bro, like, this thing is not going that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking, like why not moving? Like I feel like I'm just paddling in circles, like, or I'm paddling, I'm doing like the stationary paddles. You know how when you do the stationary bike, I felt like it was that. I felt like I was just paddling, but I wasn't moving. But she kept saying, you're moving, look how far you are. Because I was more focused on trying to go to wherever I was trying to go. Let's say we were trying to go to the other side, and I'm like, bro, that's a long way. And I'm paddling. I'm like, bro, like I ain't even moving nowhere. She's like, yeah. But she's like, look behind you. But when I looked behind me, I saw how far away I was from where I started. See, sometimes that's how it's gonna feel. Sometimes you're gonna be paddling, you're gonna be trying to move, you're gonna feel like you paddling, you paddling is not getting you anywhere, right? But the thing with the kayak is that it's not like a motorboat. It don't move like 30, 40 miles an hour in the water. Like a kayak is slow and methodical. Like that's what I've learned, is that a kayak, yes, it's moving, but it ain't moving like fast. Like you ain't going, like you trying to like get away from something. Like that kayak, that ain't really do nothing. But what I've learned about what a kayak is, like, in my kayaking experience, is that kayaks move at a methodical pace. Even though you may not be going somewhere fast, but you still going far. As long as you keep paddling, you're gonna go where you need to go. But it's going to take a little longer to get there versus when you're on a motorboat. And another thing I'm trying to get at here is like, that's how it is when you're trying to start something, when you're trying to, reach success, is that it's going to be methodical, right? It's not going to be like, oh, I'm gonna shoot out right away. I'm gonna get to the other side as fast as you want. Whatever destination you want to take in life is going to be slow and methodical. And you may feel like, oh, I ain't going nowhere. Like I'm still in the same spot. But if you look back, you'll realize how far you came. You'll realize that, hey, like if you keep paddling forward, and then you happen to look back, you'll see how far you come. But if you keep trying to look back, right, but don't look back all the time, right? Just sometimes when you may feel like, oh, am I going anywhere? Am I really moving? Sometimes, stop and take a look how far you come. Stop and come to realization of how far you come. But don't obviously keep doing that. Don't always be like every day you like this. Like, don't be doing that. Like, you want to be able to continue to go, continue to move, right? Continue to keep moving. But then, stop every now and again and see how far you come. And then you gotta say to yourself, if I can make it that far, imagine how farther I can make if I continue to keep moving. And that's the attitude you gotta have. One interesting quote that I learned from my boy Eric Thomas. Now I love listening to Eric Thomas, in case you guys don't know. Eric Thomas is one of my favorite motivational speakers. Started listening to him in high school and just have continued to listen to him throughout the rest of my life. And in one of his videos, he talks about how everybody can be successful if they don't give up. Think about that. Everybody can be successful if they don't give up. I find that I find that true. I do find that true because I feel like, when we look at our world today and we look at some of the things that we admire and some of the places that we shop at, or we tend to, or the things we tend to buy, the products we tend to buy, we admire a lot of things about this world, but those things did not happen overnight. They happened because somebody decided to stick with whatever the plan was they had for that business, for that product, for that book, or whatever they wanted to do. They had a vision of where they wanted to go and they stuck with it. Because Amazon, great example. Amazon is probably worth a whole bunch of money now. I didn't even know what Amazon was. If you asked me what Amazon was 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. If you were asked who Amazon was 8 years ago, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But because Amazon kept building and building, now look where they're at in 2021. 2021, you can ask anybody where they shop. They're going to say Amazon. If you even mention the name Amazon, they instantly going to think, oh, that's the online business. That's the business where you can buy stuff and they send you stuff in one day. It's crazy how they kept building and building and building, bro. Like, I didn't even know of Amazon until my mama used it. Honestly, when my mama bought something off it, my mom was like, "You ever use Amazon?" And I think it was like three. I didn't really shop on Amazon until I got an Amazon gift card. So that was about 3 years ago. So in 2018, when I got an Amazon gift card, I was like, all right, let me check this out. And I was like, dang, they really be sending you stuff that fast? And that's how I knew. That's how I figured out. Like, I didn't really shop on Amazon like that until like I said, I got the $50 gift card, and I was like, all right, let me go in here and see what they got. And that's how I found out. But Amazon's been around for a little bit. But the thing was, they just kept building and building and building. And we can use the same example for Tesla. Like Tesla, I think, because I also keep up with stocks too. I also keep up with the stock market and everything. And I remember like looking back at Tesla, and I think they were like crazy low, bro. Like now they worth like 700. I think the stock market price. I just looked at the stock market price right now. It's at $772. But if you look like 10 years ago, 2011, Tesla. Let's see if I can do. Tesla was marketed at $5, bro. It was $5. It was only this stock market price was only $5, bro. But now you look in today compared to today, their stock price has went up dramatically. So if you invested between 2011 and about 2019, you making money. But the thing was, now everybody want to have Tesla, everybody want to have Amazon. But back then, they weren't worth as much as they were now. See, Amazon 2011, 10 years ago from today, 2011. It even goes further than that. So I'm looking at it right now. 1997. 1997, they're worth $2. Think about it. 1997, stock price worth $2. We fast forward today, they're worth over 3,000. That's a lot of money. So if you believed in Amazon back then, man, you were rich. You living good off of that stock right there. You living good off of Amazon stock. But why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I'm trying to tell you that it takes time. 1997, I don't even know they was even around in 1997. I wasn't even born in 1997. I was born in 99. I was born 2 years after that. They was around in 97, bro. 97 to 2021. Think about that. 1997 to 2001. That's older than me. They were around for 20 plus years. Nobody knew about them really until now. Not everybody know about them. So the point I'm trying to make is whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to accomplish in your life, take time. Take time to be able to do it to pour into it every single day. Because over time you will see that growth. It's like an exponential curve. It's like this. That's how the stock looks. It's like an exponential curve. So you may feel like, oh, nothing happening. You maybe see a little success here, a little success there. All of a sudden, it takes that one moment, it takes that one break, that one breakthrough. It's gonna shoot you up like that right here. A lot of you guys probably feel like that right now, and a lot of you probably feeling like, man, like I don't see it happening. Like you may be on the verge of quitting, you may be on the verge of giving up. But I'm trying to tell y'all, man, stay the course, man. I'm telling you, trust the process. I know that's a cliche, but I'm telling you, trust the process, man. You're going to face challenges. You're gonna have to get thrown in the fire. You're going to get burnt. You're going to fall. You're gonna have a lot of things happen to you along the way. A lot of disappointments, setbacks, but that's a part of the process because you cannot give up. Because, like I've said before, it may only take one more step. You may be one step closer to getting to where you want to be. You may be one step closer. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. If being successful was easy, everybody would be successful. That's why there's a category called the top 1%. Because the top 1% are the people who decided to keep going. The top 1% is basically the people who chose to stick with whatever it is. Because 99% of people work for 1% that chose to never give up. Just remember that quote, man. But like I said, man, don't lose the faith. Don't lose hope. Because if you do, that could be detrimental. That could be detrimental to whatever you're trying to do. So just keep pushing forward, man. Continue to keep grinding, continue to keep pursuing your dreams, man. And as I come to a close on this show, I want you to realize that the famous Bible verse of James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. So you can have faith, you can believe, you can have all these, high hopes. But if you don't put in the work and you don't continue to keep putting in the work, you won't see it happening. Because one thing I've realized is that God does not work on our timeline. You may have a plan where you expect, to see this happen, that happen. You may expect to see a financial breakthrough in, 6 months, and in 6 months it ain't happened. Or you may be like, I expect to have a business, I expect to have a house, I expect to have a car in 2021, like December 2021. That's when I expect, and it don't come. And that's where we tend to lose faith because we don't see it when we want to see it. But the thing is, God has no timeline. He can give it to you whenever he feels like you're ready. But it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. It's just when God feels like you're ready, that's when you're gonna receive it. But if you give up and you don't keep pursuing it, then that's telling God that you didn't want it bad enough. You didn't want to receive it. because you didn't trust. You decided to go your own way instead of go his way. So every day that I feel like I don't want to do the podcast, well, actually, no, there's never really a day I don't feel like doing this podcast. But, there were days in the past where I was like, man, I don't really want to do this no more. I felt like, oh, I don't want to, write this book. It was a time where I was like, man, I was on chapter 5 and I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't feel like writing no more. But that's when I had to realize that if I quit, I would probably never be able to see it coming full fruition, full fruition. So don't be scared to go after whatever it is you want to do. Don't be scared to go for whatever it is you want to go after. Don't be scared to fail. Because in order to succeed, you must fail. So don't be afraid to try it. Because if you don't try it, then how would you ever know? How would you ever know if you never shoot your shot? If you never shoot your shot at anything, how you gonna know? So just remember that, man. Just remember that whenever in whatever you want to do, man, keep going and don't look back. Continue to look forward. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, and don't shy away from doing whatever it is you've been called to do. That's my time for today, man. This your boy Chris Simmons, man. Just want to remind y'all, man, follow us on Instagram actually follow me on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. That's no spaces, no capitals. Once again, follow me on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life, no spaces, no capitals. Also follow me on Twitter at ThisInYourLife1. So again, follow me on Twitter at ThisInYourLife1, and also follow my Facebook community page at Disinfect Your Life, man. Hey, man, we got a lot of great things coming up with this podcast. I will be having some guests on this show. I will have a returning guest, Miss Ursula Keith. If you don't remember her, we did an episode called Free Yourself that's available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. If you want to go back and check her out, she did a phenomenal job. Definitely looking forward to having her back. She will be back on in the future. We will definitely be working on an episode coming up next week. So that's what's going on. I'll also have another very special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but we just had a conversation today, and I'm really looking forward to this episode. I really think you will find this very enjoyable because she does some very interesting stuff with her life, and she does what a lot of you probably would love to be doing right now. So that's what's coming up, man. We got a lot of great episodes. We got a lot of great episodes in the works. You already know your boy always on the grind, man. Always trying to, make a difference. Always trying to give different perspectives on the show. And yeah, we might end up on TV, might end up on the radio, man. We'll see, man. The sky, God, with God, nothing is impossible. With God, nothing is impossible. So you might see this on TV one day. You might see this on the radio. You might listen to it on the radio. This podcast got unlimited amount of opportunities, man. So I'm really excited for the direction now that I'm going in. And also, man, real quick before I head off, you already know your boy is rocking the Step Towards Your Purpose hoodie. So I got the shirt, but I also got the hoodie as well for the fall season, man. I know it's getting cooler, especially in Northeast Ohio. It's always cold up here, man. It's like we by the Arctic. We basically in the Arctic. It was like 40 something degrees this morning. It was cold, man. So yeah, definitely, if you would, looking for some fall gear, get you some t-shirts, and you also get you this hoodie, Step Towards Your Purpose hoodie. And I'm also going to be working on some hats because I always love wearing hats. So, I'll try to work on getting y'all a hat out there, for those of you who like to wear hats like me and some other stuff too. But yeah, go check that out. If you want to go get you one, go on eBay, type in Chris's Motivational Gear. It should be on there. And a faster way to get there is if you follow me on Instagram, go to my Instagram, click the link in the bio, and then in the link tree, there's a tab that says merch. So go ahead and get you that merch and, be able to rock it out, man. Be able to be confident, be proud in what it is, be able to go out in public and be able to show it off, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we are stepping toward our purpose in 2021. 2021 is still here. So whatever you want to do in 2021, you still got time, bro. You got 2 months. And man, that's crazy. 2 months, bro. That's crazy. It's already October, man. Time goes fast. So like I said, you still got time. Don't be waiting to do it in 2022, bro. 2021 is still here, so don't be waiting to hold off stuff for the next year. Just keep going, bro. So yeah, man. You already know what it is. This your boy, Chris Simmons. We out. Take care, y'all. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.